And you can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury by telling them your name.
My name is Amy Schobert.
And Ms. Schober, where do you work?
I am employed at the Cape Coral Police Department as a forensic technician.
And how long have you worked for the Cape Coral Police Department?
Approximately 8 years.
And what did you do for the Cape Coral Police Department?
I'm a forensic technician.
What does that mean?
So as a forensic technician, we respond to crime scenes. That can be anything from burglaries to homicides. We will document those crime scenes using various methods as notes, photographs, sketches, measurements. We will also collect evidence from those scenes. We may process that evidence later on at our lab, do laboratory submissions, and we'll create reports for all of our findings, and we'll testify in court.
Now, were you working in that capacity back on the 24th of July of 2023?
Yes, I was.
Did you have occasion to be at a residence at 1835 Beach Parkway, specifically Unit 303?
Yes, I did.
What was your reason for going to that location?
We were responding to a missing persons investigation.
Okay, and what did you do when you got in that location?
When I arrived at the location, I made contact with Detective Bierman.
And was anyone else there with you?
Yes.
Who was there with you?
Detective Scarlato, Sergeant Levitt, and other members of our forensics unit.
And what did you do at that particular location on that day?
So when I first arrived, I was directed to an individual that was identified to me as Christopher Davis, and I was asked to collect his buccal swabs and his photographs.
And did you ultimately wind up going ahead and doing that?
Yes, I did.
And how did you go about doing that?
First I obtained photographs of the individual just to show overall who it was, and then I documented any injuries I observed on him. Then I obtained the buccal swabs using just a basic swab kit. It's a DNA standard that collects cells from the inside of the cheek.
Judge, let the record reflect the states showing defense counsel was increased and marked as states exhibit number 52 and 52A through 52G.
Yes.
Permission to approach, Judge?
You may.
Schober, I'm handing you what's increased and marked as states exhibit number 52 and 52A through 52G. Ask you to take a look at that item, those items. Do you recognize those?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize those?
These are photographs that I took of the individual.
And the individual being Christopher Davis?
Correct.
And is that one of the same individual who's in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
And do you see him in court today? And could you point him out and describe the article of clothing that he's wearing?
Yes, he's seated at the defendant's table wearing a white striped shirt.
There's let the record reflect this witness has also identified the defendant.
All right.
Now, Ms. Schober, those photographs, do those photographs fairly and accurately depict the individual, Mr. Christopher Davis, on the date of July 24th of 2023?
Yes, I do.
Judge, at this time, the state would move state's exhibit number 52, 52A through 52G into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No.
Be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Schober, when we're looking at this particular photograph, state's exhibit number 52, that's just an overall photograph?
Correct.
And when you take an overall photograph, you then move in closer to take photographs of individual, close-up photographs of the individual, is that right?
Yes.
And Stacy's exhibit number 52, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This is the same individual showing the backs of his hands.
And then Stacy's exhibit number 52B,
This is the right lower leg, so like the shin area.
did you note any issues with regards to his right shin area?
Yes, there were numerous scratches on the area.
And Stacy's exhibit number 52C, what are we looking at there?
This is the outside wrist and forearm area of the left hand.
And was there anything of note in this particular photograph?
Yes, there are again scratches or abrasions on this area.
And with regards to State's exhibit number 52D,
This is showing the palm or inside surface of the hand.
and is there anything of specific note in this photograph?
Yes, there is a slightly deeper scratch to the surface of the hand here between the little and middle fingers, or little and ring fingers, I'm sorry.
And State's exhibit number 52E,
This is again the same palm surface of the left hand showing an abrasion.
and State's exhibit number 52F.
This is the back of the right hand showing some abrasions on the first or index finger.
And lastly, 52G.
This is the inside or palm surface of the right hand showing two larger, deeper abrasions.
Now, when you took photographs of Mr. Davis on that particular day, did you engage in any conversation with Mr. Davis as to how he may have obtained these particular injuries?
I did not ask him any questions.
Were you aware of anyone who had asked him any questions, and were you present at the time when those questions were being asked of how he obtained these injuries?
I don't recall if one of the two detectives, Detective Bierman or Detective Scarlow, had asked him those questions, but I do recall information being given.
And was the information that was provided to you of concern with regarding cats?
Yes,
And was the information relating to cats about putting a harness on them?
yes,
And did you ultimately have an opportunity to go into the residence there at 1835 Beach Parkway?
yes, I
Unit
did.
303.
Sorry. Yes, I did.
And when you went into this particular unit, what did you see and what were you doing inside?
So I was assisting forensic technician Potts with her documentation and evidence collection inside the apartment.
And were there photographs taken of the inside of that apartment?
Yes,
And who was taking those particular photographs?
that would have been forensic technician Potts.
And were you present at the time these particular photographs were in fact taken?
Yes, or shortly thereafter.
Judge, let the record reflect, I'm showing defense counsel's increased mark cases number 39A through 39BB. May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
Show I'm handing you some producer marked as State's Exhibit number 39A all the way through 39Z, and then it goes through 39AA and 39BB. So you take a look at those items and see if you recognize those. Do you recognize those items, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize those?
These include photographs that were taken inside the apartment number 303, as well as photographs of evidence that was collected from that apartment.
And do those photographs fairly and accurately depict the items that you just described?
Yes.
Judge State would move State's Exhibit number 39A through 39Z and 39AA and 39BB in evidence at this
Any
time.
objection?
Proffer, brief proffer of the
Okay.
witness.
The voir dire, you mean?
We're dire, sorry. Ma'am, you said another tech, Potts, was taking the photos?
Yes, it was either on this date, on July 24th, it actually would have been forensic specialist Buckner Brager. And then on a second date, July 25th, it would have been forensic technician Potts.
Okay, and you mentioned you were assisting, what, both of them or one of them?
I assisted on both occasions.
Okay, and then, because you said something like I was either there or thereafter or something?
So usually when we are taking photographs inside a crime scene, we try to let the person who's taking the photographs enter the scene and take the photographs before other people enter the scene. So I may have been there shortly after the photographs were taken.
So then, all the items in those photos, I know there's a lot, but then, so do you recall, did you see them at the time they were taken, or you go in and you see those items after? Like you're verifying that's what was there, they fairly and accurately depict what was actually there on the dates. Someone else took them and then you entered later, how are you verifying that?
So the photographs from the crime scene appear to be the same condition of the crime scene as I observed it entering shortly afterwards.
Okay, no objection.
Be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioner Polish.
You may.
Thank you. Show, I'd like to direct your attention specifically to this one screen. Is that a photograph of the building at 1835 Beach Parkway? The unit 303, which I'm going to be pointing to, is the upper building, the third floor, in the middle of this particular piece of evidence, which is State's Exhibit number 39.
Yes, that's correct.
So when we enter into the condo, what are we looking at in this particular photograph? Is 39A?
So in this photograph, the front door would be behind you, and you're looking into a dining room entryway area.
In State's Exhibit number 39B, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This is a photograph of a kitchen garbage can and its contents.
And the contents appear to contain looks like an Anna Therese aesthetics medicine bag,
Yes,
and that is a pink garbage bag.
that is correct.
We're looking at 39C.
This is the living room within the residence, so the area that you just saw would be behind you, and you're proceeding further into the residence to show the living room and a little office area.
And at that office area, you took a photograph of 39D,
I did not take the photograph.
or Ms. Potts or Ms. Brager took the photograph of the contents in the office area.
That's correct.
And in the office area, it appears as though we have an iWatch.
Yes,
We have iWatch here. as well as a laptop.
Yes.
What are we looking at in 39E?
This is a close-up photograph of a medication bottle that would have been on the desk.
Okay. And does that photograph bottle belong to a gentleman by the name of Barry Schmalbach?
Yes.
And 39F, is that a little bit further photograph away from the desk depicting the medicine bottle,
Yes.
along with the watch and the laptop?
Correct.
We note here on the bottom there appears to be some sort of backpack, if you will, with straps.
Yes.
And 39G, what are we looking at there?
It appears to be checkbooks and a passport book. And you can see the strap of that backpack that was just referenced in the last photo at the top of the photograph.
And then when we open that passport appears to belong to a gentleman by the name of Barry Schmalbach and states exhibit number 39H.
Correct.
And that checkbook in 39I, is that one and the same belonging to a gentleman by the name of Mr. Barry Schmalbach?
Correct.
And that would be his name listed right here on the actual check itself.
Yes, on the top left corner.
And in 39J, what are we looking at in this particular photograph?
This is a photograph of a table that was in the living room area.
And on the bottom shelf of that particular table, we see a bag, is that correct?
Yes, it's a Ziploc bag.
And in that Ziploc bag, 39K, we have what?
Additional bottles of medication bearing the name Barry Schmalbach.
And then here in States Exhibit number 39L, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This is a photo inside the master bedroom, or I believe it was the only bedroom. No, this is the master bedroom within the residence.
And then we're looking here at 39M. What would we find underneath one of the pillows in that particular room?
So under the pillow, it's been lifted up a little bit. You can see the keys for a vehicle.
And close up of those keys in 39N.
Yes, this is after the pillow's been removed and the keys have been splayed out so you can see them.
And do those keys actually go to an actual, like a Jeep, as indicated here on this particular key fob?
Yes.
And 39O, what are we looking at here?
So this is in the second bedroom. There's a safe along the wall, and the bed is on the right side of the photograph.
And then 39P,
This is going back to the master side of the apartment. The master bedroom would be behind you. This is the master bathroom.
and then we're looking at 39Q.
This is the sink inside the master bathroom.
And that photograph also depicts a number of toiletries,
Yes.
toothbrushes, hairbrushes, that sort of thing.
Yes.
It states exhibit number 39R. What are we looking at in this photograph?
So in the previous photograph, there was a closet on the right side as you enter into the master bathroom. This is showing inside of that closet.
So basically someone's clothing.
Yes.
So 39S,
Can't tell what that is on the screen. Can I see the photograph?
if I may approach Judge?
You may.
Thank you.
What are we looking at 39F?
It's a black Coach billfolder wallet.
And then 39T,
Is a cell phone.
and then 39U.
This is with that wallet opened up.
And when we're looking at 39U, there also appears to be a driver's license with Alaska.
Yes.
And then 39V,
This is just another view of the top portion of that wallet.
and 39W been introduced as evidence in this particular case. Is that all the contents that was in that particular wallet that was found?
Yes.
And all these various credit cards that you saw there, those were one and the same that belonged to Mr. Barry Schmalbach?
Yes.
None of those credit cards belonged to Mr. Christopher Davis.
No.
but we do have a driver's license here for Mr. Christopher Davis. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
And then we have 39X. What are we looking at there?
It's a Discover credit card with a Chiefs logo from the NHL.
And then when we flip that over, we're looking at 39Y.
This is the back side of that card that shows the individual's name.
And that individual's name is what?
Barry J. Schmalbach.
And 39Z.
This is an American Express Delta Sky Miles credit card with the name Barry Schmalbach.
And 39AA is the back of that particular credit card.
Correct.
And 39BB. What are we looking at here?
This is an Alaska State Identification Card for Christopher Gregory Davis.
Now, the date of birth on his driver's license depicts 6/8 of 1988. Is that right?
Yes,
It's not 6/9 of 1989, correct?
Okay, let's ask and answer. What it shows.
Overruled.
it does
Yeah.
not, sorry, it does not show that.
Now, after you went ahead and were present with Ms. Potts and Ms. Buckner-Brager and took overall photographs of the apartment as well as the interior of various items contained therein, did you ultimately have an opportunity to go back to 1835 Beach Parkway and collect a series of light bulbs on the various landings?
Yes, I did.
Specifically, there was a first and second floor landing. Did you collect that light bulb?
Yes.
What was the reason for you to collect that light bulb?
I was requested by Detective Bierman to go back on that date and collect those light bulbs based on investigative leads.
Judge, let the record reflect, I'm showing defense counsel some proofs and marked as State's Exhibit number 27. May I approach?
You may.
Show one handing you some proofs and marked as State's Exhibit number 27. I ask you to take a look at that item and see if you recognize that.
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize that?
It is packaged with my label with my handwriting and my identifying information, as well as sealed with my initials, member number, and the date.
And is that item in substantially the same or similar condition as to when you last saw it?
Yes.
Judge, Steve moves State's Exhibit number 27 in evidence at this time.
All right, any objection?
Board Dyer, did you say you sealed it after you put it in there?
Correct.
Then has anyone else opened it up to do anything with it?
I see no other markings where someone else has opened the bag.
So, I guess before you put it in there, did you do like testing for fingerprints or anything?
I did process the item for latent prints.
Oh, okay, so you conducted that and then you sealed it.
That's correct.
Okay. No objection.
All right, it'll be admitted.
Now, Ms. Schover, when you went ahead and collected those prints off of that particular item, what did you do with that?
I submitted those prints for another analyst to examine.
Now, let me take you back one quick step as a follow-up. When you were in that apartment at 1835 Beach Parkway, did you find any cat leashes in that particular apartment?
No, I did not.
Did you find a harness for a cat in that particular apartment?
No, I did not.
Was any harness found in the trash that you collected, or that was collected from this apartment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Was there a leash that was found in the trash?
Not that I'm aware of.
I have no further questions for this witness, Judge.
All right.
When you arrived to assist, did you still see the cats in there?
I was there on 2 occasions and did not see any cats.
Okay, so do you have any knowledge if they were removed before you came?
I do not know if they were still in the apartment or not.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You can step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you want her to remain or is she released?
She may be released, Judge, thank you.
Any objection? All right, you're released from your subpoena.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State and call their next witness.
Judge, say we call Ms. Casey Buckner Brager.